Hey guys, so today I am doing a little update where I've been after I disappeared for a little while and Q&A video. I've actually filmed this 3 times now because every time I film it, I go to edit it and realize there's a bunch of stuff that I forgot to mention, but I'm hoping this will be the final time. I'm also probably going to breeze through a lot of things because I tend to condense and summarize things that have to do with my personal life. So if it was not a satisfying answer, I apologize. So to get started, I was gone for I think like 14 months. That's what I've been saying anyway, 14 months. I just totally stopped making videos. And I was pregnant and had a baby and it was great. She was born in April. Her name is Ruby. She's doing really well. And I know I've had some people send me messages about like, when are we gonna see her? What does she look like? She's really adorable. But I am just like, don't want pictures of her on the internet. I'm really weird about that. I'm really paranoid about that. The internet is forever, and once something's on there, I can't take it back, and there's like a lot of weirdness on the internet, and I don't want pictures of her up here. And I've said that, but I've also like felt a little weird saying that and almost been a little hesitant to mention it because I don't want it to come off like I am judgmental about anybody that does put pictures of their kids on the internet, because that's like everybody's own decision. Just for me personally, I'm more comfortable if she's not out there. But that was my main reason for being gone. I just needed to focus on my pregnancy and focus on being with her for a little while after she was born, and it was really nice, and I feel really fortunate that I was able to do that. We also moved recently. In March, which was like a month before Ruby was born, we moved to, not like completely across the state, but pretty much to the other side of the state. My husband had been commuting several hours for work one way every day for years. And with Ruby coming, we just wanted him to be a little bit closer so that he could spend more time with her and see her more. Otherwise, he'd pretty much only be seeing her on the weekends because the commute was so long. So we did move, and it's kind of a sensitive subject for me because I really, really loved our old house. And I don't say that to say that like this is not this is a beautiful house, and I'm really happy that we're here. And I could probably see us staying here, but I was like at home out in the woods with all my little critters running around outside, and I miss it. I do really miss it. So it's a little sensitive of a subject. I have not like fully accepted that that house is gone and we're not going back. I'm a hillbilly at heart, and I like to be out in the woods and away from other people, and that's totally not where we are right now. So it's a little difficult, but it was like definitely the best decision for our family. So that's what I keep reminding myself. Like this is what we had to do at the time. So I'm going to move on to the Q&A questions. I posted on Instagram last weekend to get some Q&A questions. There's not going to be a ton because most of the questions kind of hit the same few subjects. The most common question was about 9 Lacquer and what I plan on doing with that. It's kind of up in the air right now. I do want to restock polishes. I do want to make some more polishes, but it's kind of moving from a main hustle to a side hustle kind of situation. So I haven't really figured out what that looks like yet. I'm just now getting back into YouTube, and I'm actually really enjoying being back into YouTube. So I'm trying to figure out like the, I guess, work-life balance with just YouTube, and then I will try to sprinkle some 9 in there once I feel like I've got a good handle on my time management, which has never been my strong suit. That's the plan. It more likely than not will be back, but it will not be in the same capacity. I'm thinking probably fewer releases, smaller releases, and less stocked at a time, just because I don't want to fall back into a totally overwhelmed rut, which I was before there was a baby to take care of. So I'm trying to be really, really careful about how much I take on and my time management because it's not good anyway. Because now I have way more on my plate than I did previously when I was having a hard time handling it all. So I want to baby step my way back into everything. Okay, so for the rest of the Q&A portion, settle in. Ooh, ouch. I don't think these wicker chairs from IKEA were like actually meant to be sat in because I think it just got a splinter in my butt. So I got a lot of questions regarding being a mom and how different it is. It's really different, but I am kind of a like meticulous and obsessive planner. So I have not don't think I've been surprised by anything yet. So I kind of like, it's pretty much exactly how I expected it to be. I'm really liking it. She's almost 9 months old now, so it's getting like really fun. I had a couple people ask about a labor and delivery story or a birth story. That's like, it would be like a 5-minute video. Like, it really was not. I went in, got induced, and she was born like 6 hours later. It was like really quick, really fast, really basic, run-of-the-mill, like nothing crazy. I do think I got really fortunate because I think that was really fast as far as inductions go. When I first walked in, I remember the doctor saying we'd have a baby in the next day or two, and I was like, that seems like a really long time. And then she was born that night, so it worked out. I was asked if I wanted more children. No, not really. I feel weird saying that because I'm afraid that saying that comes off as like I'm not enjoying the one that I have. I really am. I just know that it's not something that I want to do again. And I knew that going into it. We have kind of always been a 0 to 1 children couple. Like, we knew that that's what we wanted to do. And like, we've got our one and we're pretty content and everything's good. It's just, like I said, it's just not something, I'm loving it. I love the experience. I'm just savoring like every moment because I know I'm not going to do it again. But it's not something that I want to do multiple times. So don't be expecting any more babies, ever. I got a couple questions regarding to how often I painted my nails when I was on hiatus. Actually not much at all, like very little, if at all, when I was pregnant. And then I did have like a few weeks where I kept up with it really well when she was first born and she was sleeping a lot. But then after that, it just like dipped down again. But now that I'm doing videos again, I am painting my nails quite a bit more because I like to have them painted when I sit down for a video, which means that I'm getting at least 1 manicure a week in, maybe more, depending on the situation. I was asked who my favorite authors are, which I don't think I actually have any because I admittedly do not read much. That's not something that I'm proud of, but I have a really bad habit of starting a book, getting like halfway through it or less, and then putting it down and forgetting to go back to it until it's been so long that I would have to start it over again. So I've made it halfway through a lot of books. I rarely actually finish one. Will I be at Polish and Beauty Expo in Chicago this summer? I really, really want to go. I don't know if I'm going to. It's up in the air. So I want to, but I have not made any plans to actually be there. Like, I haven't invested anything in actually going. How do I organize time for social media content while having a little one? Well, I'm still working on that. It's kind of consuming all of my free time right now because I am changing a lot of the way that I do things. And I think once I get used to editing a different way and filming a slightly different way, it will go a lot faster and I'll have a little bit of free time. But right now it is consuming like almost all of my free time, which is why I said I want to ease my way back into 9 Zero, because right now I don't know when I would do 9 Zero because YouTube is taking up so much time. I was asked what my goals are for my YouTube channel. I just want to be happy with what I put up. I feel like a lot of the time I was just putting things up because I was so crunched for time and I didn't really love how anything looked. So I've changed a little bit. I'm probably going to be tweaking things here and there. Things might change a little bit back and forth. The videos that I've edited today, I'm actually really happy with how they've turned out, so I hope that you guys are really happy with how they've turned out. A couple of them will be up before this goes up. I was asked which indie polishes I think are the best, and I mentioned this in my favorites of 2021 that I'm really, really liking Rogue Lacquer right now. I have not been following indies super well while I was gone, but Rogue Lacquer I think is probably my favorite at the moment because I really like what she's doing with all those little flakies. What's an indie brand that you haven't tried yet but want to? So again, I haven't been following the indies super closely. While I was gone and even a little bit before, I feel like I was just like stuck on a few brands, and a lot of new brands have come and probably gone that I haven't tried. But I do want to put more indies on my channel. I've been looking at like all of these Essie collections that I've been reviewing because it's just Essie, Essie, Essie. Everything that comes out new, it seems to be Essie right now. So I do want to mix in some indies. They're going to be probably a little bit fewer and farther between because I'd like to be able to keep up with the mainstream collections. But if you guys have suggestions of indie brands that you're interested in seeing that aren't ones that I have, usually featured on my channel, then let me know, because I don't know, I feel like I'm so far removed from that because my head has been somewhere else for so long that now I need some suggestions. I need you guys to throw out some indie brands that kind of like bring me back in. I was asked if my nail health changed postpartum. It didn't, but I did lose all of my face framing hair. So I was like really cocky about my hair loss because I didn't think I was gonna have any, because my hair didn't get any thicker. Like I don't have a lot of hair on my head, and what I do is very fine. So I was expecting like the glorious thick pregnancy hair, and then I didn't get it. And I thought, like, that's okay, because that means I won't lose any hair, right? Because I'm not like retaining a bunch of hair that makes my hair seem thicker. So maybe there won't be any hair to lose after I give birth. No, I totally like it. All of the hair around my face is like an inch long, and I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with my hair when my face framing hair is an inch long and there's not a lot anywhere else on my head. My nails did not change at all that I noticed, but I did lose a lot of hair. So I haven't lost everyone already. Now I'm going to talk about cats, and I'll probably lose the rest of you. You guys, I talk about these cats like 3 times longer than I talk about my actual human baby. That's literally all there is left in the video, is just 5 straight minutes of me talking about cats. So if you're not interested in that, I have nothing else for you. So I was asked how the cats coped with the move and the baby. So I have a herd of cats. There are a lot of cats in this house. There are 5 of them. 3 of them showed up outside under unfortunate circumstances, and I took them in. 2 of them were acquired intentionally. They handled the move really well. It was a pretty far move. We had to drive. It was like probably a 2-hour drive from our old house. So one of them did have to be tranquilized, because she would have hurt herself. She's like really, really crazy. And she's very high strung. But other than that, they all handled it really well. I think they really like it in here. Square footage wise, the house is pretty much the same, but our old house was all one level, and this time we have like a basement and a main level and an upstairs, so they can all kind of spread out a little bit and get out of each other's faces. They do all get along fairly well, but they still need their kitty space. So I actually think this house is working out a lot better for them. And as far as baby goes, I have one that really doesn't like her. I have one that really, my finger cracked. I have one that really, really loves her, to the point where I kind of like have to separate them a little bit, because she's like really playful and she wants to play with the baby and lay by the baby and sleep by the baby all the time, which I just am not comfortable allowing at this point. And then I have 3 that just pretend like she doesn't exist. Totally ignore her. Just go about their merry way, kind of avoid her, but for the most part, just pretend she doesn't exist. She's almost crawling, and I think that they are not going to be able to pretend that she doesn't exist pretty quickly, because she loves them. Anytime she sees a cat walk by or do anything, she just like laughs hysterically, like she just thinks they're the greatest thing she's ever seen. So when she's crawling, it's gonna get a little more complicated, because they won't be able to ignore her anymore, but for now, we're all kind of peacefully coexisting. Also, please don't judge me for having 5 cats. It's way too many cats, and I'll never do it again, but they're here, and this is their home, and it is what it is. My old lady is, I actually don't know how old she is. We think she's around like 14, 15, 16. She is in end stages of kidney disease. So I found that out a couple months ago. She's already done better longer than we thought, but she is not long for this world. And we know that, and she's actually doing pretty well still, but at this point we're just kind of like watching for the decline so that we can make a call. And if I sound really cold about that, I'm not trying to sound cold about that. It's something that I've been expecting for a long time. She's been with us longer already than I thought she would be. Like, she's doing well, and she's been with us longer than I thought she would be. It's just, I've had like a couple of months to process it since we got the news, and I was kind of expecting the news before we got it anyway, because it's easy to see that she's not doing as well as she did a couple of years ago. She's still doing well, she's just not, she's not a spring chicken anymore. So I don't want to be cold about that, but that's just like kind of how I process things. Just like talk about it very factually and internalize, which probably isn't a good idea, but I'm as prepared for it, I think, as I can be. So I have a lot of cats. It's too many cats. Please don't judge me. My house is clean, I swear. It's like a really big deal to me that even though I have all of them in this house, you don't come in this house and smell cat litter, and you don't see cat hair everywhere. Like, I'm really, really crazy about making sure that that's always taken care of. So just like, don't think I'm gross. Every time I feel, I'm afraid to tell people that I have 5 cats, because I feel like they just like think that I'm dirty all of a sudden. I don't know why, because like, you know what, I might think that about someone if they told me they had 5 cats. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's my own bias. Like, I'm projecting my own bias. But I swear, it's clean in here. We're not out in a place where like stray cats are showing up all the time. Okay, that's a lie. I am feeding a stray cat right now, but he's not coming in. I have no intention of taming his feral self. It's winter, it's very cold outside. I have a little insulated shelter outside for him that he's only spent a couple of nights in, so I'm thinking that he's got someplace warmer to go, and I put food out like every 2 or 3 nights because I don't want him to be fully reliant on it, but I want to help him out, help him get through the winter if I can. But I'm not taking in any more animals because we are like well over maximum feline capacity. So I think I covered everything. I probably skipped over a few things that I didn't have anything to say to, so if I skipped over yours, I apologize. But that is the Q&A, that is the update. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.